Hi everyone, I hope you're doing good on Alpha 7. I did not forget you all. I've been really busy in my tooth. I have a bum tooth, right? Gotta love dental practices, right? The more you go, the more your teeth will shrivel up and fall out of your face because I had bad dental work. And isn't this a timely topic, because I'm actually in the topic right now of doublespeak in medicine. So hopefully I won't get in trouble for just reading a book on YouTube, because YouTube likes to ban people for this, for anything nowadays. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I hope you're all doing great. I hope that I didn't make you think that I ghosted you. Definitely not. So, doublespeak from revenue enhancement to terminal living. How government, business, advertisers, and others use language to deceive you. This is just a throwback to Reading Rainbow. I have several books. I think we left off on page 68. So, I don't want to repeat myself, especially if you watched the last one. So I'll start on page 68, okay? But this is the doublespeak in medicine. Doublespeak can and is used to avoid those harsh realities the medical profession prefers not to acknowledge. At Creedmoor Psychiatric Center in New York, a mental patient in a straitjacket died of inappropriate physical abuse, said Irene Platt, acting chair of the New York State Commission on Quality of Care for the Mentally Disabled. Don't you wonder what might constitute physical abuse? Well, that hit home, because I know the most deranged people, like, degenerates. Sorry, my tooth is, it's sensitive today. In real life, that you wouldn't even trust around your own sons and daughters, right? And they work with children at a lot of these rehab facilities. A lot of them also are for children without full-time guardians, right? And a lot of times when they're acting out, I heard stories that they are restrained, and you get the feeling they're put in straitjackets. I mean, how sad. So I hope that a lot of those places, something happens and, they're defunded. So medical doublespeak can have political and moral implications, no doubt, right? As well as life and death consequences. In his 1987 book, And the Band Played On, Politics, People, and the AIDS Epidemic, Randy Schultz discusses AIDS speak, a new language formed by public health officials, anxious gay politicians, and the burgeoning ranks of AIDS activists. Schultz points out that AIDS speak was designed to be politically facile and psychologically reassuring. AIDS speak goes to great lengths never to offend the moral or political sensibilities of the public, politicians, and members of the gay community. AIDS speak never refers to AIDS sufferers as victims. They're called people with AIDS, or PWAs. That unpleasant word, promiscuous, becomes in AIDS speak sexually active. Because gay politicians decided that the word promiscuous was judgmental, and AIDS speak could never be judgmental, the most used phrase in AIDS speak is bodily fluids. an expression that avoids troublesome words like semen. But the most pernicious word in AIDS speak, according to Schultz, is the term exposed. Persons who had the HTLV3 antibodies were told they had been exposed, quote unquote, to the virus. And the term soon became beloved by health workers around the country because it avoided so many problems. This is going to be a controversial page. Hopefully I can get away with even reading this. Yet this word is doublespeak of the most serious kinds. We get that a lot. Because people who have the antibodies to a virus had been infected by it. They haven't simply been exposed, as Dr. Bruce Varela, a San Diego research microbiologist, said. When people say expose, I get the feeling that they think the virus floats around the room like the scent of gardenias, and somehow they get exposed. That's not how it works. If you got an antibody, that virus has been in your blood. AIDS speak is the doublespeak of life and death. And the doublespeak of medicine, doctors addicted to drugs are impaired physicians. At least that's what the American Medical Association says. The doctor who charged Blue Shield for services that were either medically unnecessary or were never performed had inappropriately received $750,000. Others might call it theft. Patients don't experience pain anymore, just discomfort. That's true. I know they did. It's like they did. We use soft language now, right? You call that soft language. So, as noted earlier, people don't die in hospitals anymore. There's just negative patient outcome, a terminal episode or terminal living. In the emergency room, systems fail. And when the surgeon at a Philadelphia hospital perforated the patient's colon during an examination, resulting in complications which caused the patient's death, the hospital attributed death to a diagnostic misadventure of a high magnitude. Such is the doublespeak of death in the medical world. Scary, right? That's how they do us. Chapter 3. Virgin vinyl, real counterfeit diamonds, and genuine imitation leather. With these words, I can sell you anything. That's going to be a really interesting chapter. Let's see, I'll read a couple of pages to get started. You settle back in your comfortable chair to watch some of the big events in the 1988 Summer Olympics. After the usual vacuous comments by some faceless commentator, there's a commercial. Actually, there are about 8 commercials during the 2-minute break because each commercial is 15 seconds long. Each different products dance across the television screen, and then you're whisked back to Seoul. After watching a few minutes of women's basketball, you're hit with another commercial break. And once again, you're besieged by another 6 to 8 different products. This pattern repeats itself again and again. You grab the remote control and change the channel, only to find another commercial. You try again, another commercial. Again, more commercials. You're getting desperate now. You start hitting the channel buttons with a sense of panic. You need a program to watch, any program, and all you can find are commercials. all of a sudden you find a channel with a program, not commercials. You breathe a little easier. The panic begins to recede. You relax and settle back. So what if it's the shop at home channel? At least this is a channel without commercials. That's funny. I know people go crazy with commercials now on YouTube channels. Like, if you interrupt any of their scheduled programming, they'll lose their mind. Well, if you don't like people's videos and they have channels, well, you can always pay for YouTube Premium, and they'll make sure you, when you do that, because I actually had that, I believe, for a couple of months, and you don't see any well, not that I did. I don't know if anybody else experienced, but you don't see ads. Perhaps this description is a little exaggerated, but not for much. If you watched the 1988 Olympics, you did see a lot of commercials. You saw an average of 10.2 minutes of commercials. Wow, right? An hour. As a matter of fact, that doesn't include the promotions NBC ran for its own programs. The three networks normally average 7 minutes of commercials during prime time. NBC paid $243 million for the rights to broadcast the Olympic Games, and the only way to get its money back was to run a lot of commercials. Look at that. Or 3,500 commercial units, as NBC called them, at $330,000 per 30-second spot. There's a lot of MK Ultra on you if they're spending that much. Careful. They do spells right through the screens. Y'all don't even know how many rituals they do with these performances either. NBC won the rights to broadcast the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona with a bid of $401 million. Add to that about $100 million for production costs, and you can plan on watching a lot of commercials during the next Olympics too. We'll leave it on page 72 because I actually have to hit the post office, my friends. And this chapter is getting really good. So the Super Bowl of advertising. I'll try to do my clips a little bit longer. It just depends on the time, guys. Don't mind my nails. I know I've been working really hard with my hands and paper pushing, and it's really hard on your skin and your hands, right? So I'm going to do a little self-care today. But this is a great book, and I definitely will go into it, guys. In case you don't have it, not every book you can find the PDF on it online. You know what I mean? So this is important because they basically hijacked our language and use it against us. So when we don't use the words in the proper syntax, grammar, and understand the parts of speech and all of that, we can be taken advantage of by euphemism, it says here, jargon, gobbledygook, and inflated language. And he goes into the dangers of such things. And this is a cool book too, right? Because it goes into anecdotal stories. So it gives us a little window to what was going on, over the years. So we'll definitely go into this, guys. Thank you for being so patient. I'll continue to read through it until we're done. I will spend some time during this week. I'm sorry. I should have been uploading a lot more. I apologize for that video where it was really, really windy. No more beach videos. That wind is killer. So, I'll do it in quiet places. That way you can see and hear what I'm reading from. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.